This has been a rough road for my family and I. It has not been easy. But when you have passion for what you do, and we do, we love people, we love food, we love to hear people's stories, and we love to talk to them about the ingredients that we use and how everything is homemade. And that's our passion. So embrace and enjoy the journey as long as that is what you're passionate about. And like I said, the road will be rocky, but hang in there. And over time, your hard work will pay off.
There are opportunities for our work and careers everywhere, if you know where to look. That's easier said than done, especially in our fast-paced and constantly changing world. Marianne Fairmouth is talking to experts, employers, and job seekers to bring you insight and understanding about what's possible. This is Career Can Do, where we're navigating the new work world.
Welcome to the Career Can Do podcast, a top global podcast dedicated to helping you navigate the new work world. My name is Marianne Fairmouth, and I'll be your host for this episode. And today I'm just delighted to have a person on my show that I have the utmost admiration and respect for. Jessica Levine is the director of operations of Jonathan's The Rub, a fabulous facility, eating place, wonderful restaurant, now with 3 facilities, about to have 4, that I just have a real special place in my heart for because my first job was in my dad's restaurant. And I know that I've learned so many good things from that experience. But Jessica and her family have done so much, and they're such an example of living your passion and growth and expansion and entrepreneurship. And I wanted to have her on the show today because I just think the world of her and her dad and her restaurants, and I've really enjoyed being there. But I think for all of us that are going through these challenging times in the new work world, it's good to know about places like this. And so I wanted to have her on the show today because she's just a super top-notch lady. So after that incredibly long introduction, without further ado, say hello to everybody, Jessica.
Hello. Thank you so much, Marianne, for having me on your show today.
Well, I'm just thrilled to have you. And I think we talked about this. My first podcast I ever did, I had Jessica on the show because, as I said, my first job was my dad's restaurant. And I felt a certain connection to Jessica. And it's been so exciting to see the growth and expansion of these 3 and soon to be 4 locations. So, Jessica, tell us a little bit about how you got started and how this restaurant has just, with all the, you won some big award just recently. But tell us a little bit about this journey and how this all got started.
Well, for me, we have to go back 30 years. When I first started working for my dad, I was 12 years old and bussing tables on the weekends. Sometimes I would have a companion, a girlfriend with me. And I just remember, being that age and falling in love with the industry almost right away. I mean, there's not very many children that get excited when guests are getting up from their table so that you can go clean it and buss it. So I knew, from a very young age that I was destined to be in this industry. I just got it. I love people. I love food. And so working alongside my dad all throughout school, pretty much making my way through high school up in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, where he had eventually 3 restaurants. I was managing staff. I had worked my way up to that point, of course, from busing where I started to serving to bar back to bartending and things of that nature from a very young age. And I just fell in love with it. I actually did go to college for journalism, but I found my way right back into the restaurant industry when Dad eventually moved to Houston. He started doing catering. So I naturally joined him on that journey to Houston, getting the catering company started. The restaurant industry, as we all know, is very difficult, so we weren't going to go that route again. However, we caught the bug. Guests wanted to bring their wine and eat our food, and so there we were. We put 7 tables into a space that we were doing all of our catering cooking out of. And the rest is history. Here we are 20 years later, being in the restaurant industry in Houston, and we're finally going on to our fourth location, and we couldn't be happier.
Well, that's wonderful. And that resonates, that story resonates with me because I think I was probably about 12 years old too, working for my dad. But I think the people skills you learn and, the restaurant business is really unique, but yet it has many good lessons for us to learn about how to deal with life, how to deal with people. As I said, that story really resonates with me. But, I remember going to that little small place with the 7 tables on Campbell. What made your dad expand it? I think the next restaurant he did was Memorial Green, and that was just before COVID, wasn't it? Or how many years before COVID did that restaurant open?
Correct. Yes. So after we started with the 7 tables in that location in Hedwig Village in 2008. And it wasn't until 10 years later, after we had taken over the whole entire strip mall, we were approached by Brad Friels at Midway at the time to come and look at a space over at Memorial Green. And we were ready. We were ready to make that jump into a second store. It was such a great deal in such a great space. We knew it right when we walked in there, and it was only the shell, mud. Had been raining that day. There wasn't concrete even poured into the floors yet. But we knew as soon as we stepped into that space that this was definitely going to be the second location for us. So that was in 2018. We opened October 4th. And then came COVID, and we really needed to concentrate our efforts on making at least one of the restaurants profitable during that time. So we did close for 6 weeks. We found some other ways to drive business to one location. We reached out to all of our vendors to see if there was anything we could do to delay payments. And it was, a juggle and a struggle, but we were able to wade those waters.
What a great story. What a great story about living your passion, but also about overcoming obstacles. Because, Jessica, no matter what we do in life, whether it's running a restaurant or being an engineer or being a recruiter, we're going to have obstacles and we're going to have to think of ways to overcome those. And I think that you're a real testament to how you hung in there. You didn't shut it down. You didn't run away. You hung in there. You do what you have to do. But look at the beautiful success story that you've had. And I have to say, I don't know of any other restaurant in the Houston area anyway that I love to go to. I mean, I always have good food. The service is amazing. Sometimes if I have a turn down or one of my candidates is really struggling, we go in there, we sit down, we can talk. It's a nice environment. It's just a great place. And I just think that, yes, Career Can Do is all about finding a job, but there's a lot of variables that go into that. And if you can find a place to go to, have a good meal, or, with the holidays coming up right now, maybe you're a company downtown and you want to have a party, or maybe you're not thinking about a party. Maybe you just want to go to a great new restaurant. There's a great new Jonathan's The Rub downtown. And Jessica, tell us about this big award. I mean, this place has just been open 6 months. Tell us about this big award you just won from the Chamber of Commerce for your new downtown location.
Oh, well, we couldn't be more pleased to have opened our third location in the East End of Houston, more specifically on Historical Navigation Boulevard, which also is home to the original Ninfa's. Everybody in Houston knows where the original Ninfa's is. So we're so excited to be so close to another iconic restaurant staple. We have only been open for 6 months, but it is already proven to be another successful location for us. The neighborhood has welcomed us with open arms. They have just bestowed an amazing award, the Ed Wolf Economic Development Award, for opening up a business and providing economic development in their area. And just to be recognized for that so quickly, you can absolutely tell that there's a lot of love and appreciation out there in the East End. It's been such an honor to be there. We are open now on all cylinders, brunch, lunch, and dinner, getting ready for a busy holiday season, lots of company parties coming on in. And what's been really interesting to me is seeing all of the clientele coming from the downtown area because let's face it, we have plenty of parking, free parking, and that's not the norm in the downtown area. You usually have to pay an arm and a leg, find a spot. But what these guys are figuring out, which has been really neat, is that they already have a parking space in their office building. So they just come and drive about 5 to 7 minutes to us. There's plenty of free parking. They come and they eat lunch with us and then they go right back to their office building. It's a perfect, beautiful thing. And then at dinner time, we see a lot of the locals that live in the area, which has been so fun for us. And they're artists and community activists and government officials and judges. And it's just been so amazing to be part of a great area like the East End in Houston. And we can't wait for the journey to go out to Cyprus. We'll be in Bridgeland in September, October of 2025. And we can't wait to become a part of that community as well.
That's wonderful. Well, this is such a success story. It's just exciting for me to be able to feel like I've seen it from the beginning, seen how you've grown. But also, I really believe that the way you handle people in that restaurant, the beautiful, fabulous presentation of the food is always fresh. It's always great. It's always good. But I have to say, I have to make reservations now because you get so busy over here at Campbell, which is a great thing. But I always say to my friends, or when we're going to go out to eat, we better make a reservation because it gets filled up pretty fast. But that's another testament to the great food and the great service. But I just thought this would be a great podcast to do because it is around the holiday time. People are thinking about having parties. People are also thinking about, gosh, I'm just exhausted. I've been shopping my brains out. I need to go get a good glass of wine and something good to eat. Where am I going to go? Jonathan's the Rub. All right, check it out. 3 locations, wonderful service, great people. But also, this podcast really is about somebody living their passion, somebody with a dream, actualizing that dream, helping others in the process, and having fun in the process too. You go in there, everybody's happy, laughing, joking. I mean, it's a great place. And Jessica, I'm just so happy to know you. And thank you so much for all you do for so many good people. And like I said, candidates right now and clients too, we have what we call a new work world. There's a challenge and a change going on. All right. We have a shortage of candidates. We got all these jobs out there post-COVID, and we don't have enough people, and people are really, challenged. So in the process of your search or you're seeking to hire someone, take a break, go check out Jonathan's The Rub. You'll be glad you did. You'll have a great meal. You'll meet good people. You'll come out of there feeling refreshed and ready to move on to the next junction, whatever it should be. So Jessica, we're getting near the end here. I always like to leave our listeners with a couple salient points they can take with them and digest. If I asked you for 2 points about Jonathan's The Rub, what do you think those would be?
One point I would like to say is that we want to be your third place. What does that mean? Jonathan's The Rub understands that your first place is home, your second place is work, but you have that third place where you're going to go. You want this cheers effect where everyone knows your name. You want to go to your third place where you feel comfortable. You have a nice, warm, delicious homemade meal where everything is made from scratch. It's something that reminds you of your youth. It's comfort all the way. And so I think that if you can create a third place for your guests, that you're destined to be successful. And also enjoy and embrace the journey. This has been a rough road for my family and I. It has not been easy. But when you have passion for what you do, and we love people, we love food, we love to hear people's stories, and we love to talk to them about the ingredients that we use and how everything is homemade. And that's our passion. So embrace and enjoy the journey as long as that is what you're passionate about. And like I said, the road will be rocky, but hang in there. And over time, your hard work will pay off.
I think those are 2 fabulous points. Again, I am a big advocate of Jonathan's The Rub. It's a fabulous place. I go there a lot. There's one on Campbell and I-10. There's one in Town and Country. The newest one is in the East End, downtown.
Well, it technically is the East End because what I've learned very quickly is there is a difference between Edo and the East End, and we are in the East End, and we cannot say that we are in Edo or we will be in trouble.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. And then coming up in 2025, there's going to be a new one in the Cypress area. So all of this information will be on my website, fairmouth.com. But Jessica, if somebody wants to check you out, you have we just go at jonathantherub.com, go to the website, and they can look at all the locations. How do they find you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. We have all jonathanstherub.com. If you needed anything, we do a lot of catering still. Please email us catering@jonathanstherub.com. We're doing a lot of events for the holidays, but you may still be able to book a slot. And I hope everyone has a great holiday season. And we're here if you're stressed out and you need anything. Please let us take some of the stress off your plate. Don't have to worry about shopping, prepping, cooking, cleaning. We're here for you. We're an ear to listen to if your family is driving you crazy. So
Oh, I
so
think this
please
is
come
great.
and see us. We would love to see you over the holiday season.
Great. Jonathan's the Rub. Fabulous place. Great people. And my name is Marianne Fairmouth, Career Can Do. Please download us on any podcast channel. We're on all of them. And we'll see you all next time. Thanks so much, Jessica.
Oh, thank you, Marianne. What a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
We thank you for tuning in to our Career Can Do podcast. We make no guarantees on results for your particular quest, but we hope you enjoy the information presented. The views and opinions expressed in this program are solely that of the guest or speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of Marianne Fairmouth and Fairmouth and Company. Thank you.